Dear students, on the previous turn, we have seen one of the connectivity based web searching techniques, namely the concept of hubs and authorities. Today, we are going to see an improved version in the same direction, which we will name as PageRank. And let me tell you that this PageRank is the technique which forms the backbone for Google search engine. So there is a very interesting story attached to this. So let me tell you that story for the sake of motivation before we proceed any further. There were two PhD students at Stanford University, namely Brin and Page, Sergey Brin and Larry Page. They had come up as a part of their PhD work. They had come up with this PageRank algorithm. And they were so much excited about this that when they came to know that their supervisor is being visited by a top industrialist of the Silicon Valley, they were waiting outside the office of the supervisor for that industrialist to come out. And as soon as he came out, they were having their laptops. They were standing with their laptops, ready with the laptops. And while the industrialist walked from the office of the supervisor to his car, on the way they kept explaining about the PageRank algorithm on their laptop. So on the way, by the time the industrialist could get into his car, he was so much interested in their PageRank algorithm that he pulled out his checkbook, made a check for $100,000 and wrote "Pay Google Inc." Signed it, handed it over to those two, Brin and Page, and walked and drove away. Now in their biography, the founders of Google, that is Brin and Page, they write that we didn't know what to do with that check. And we had that check sitting in our drawers for good 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, we thought to start a company with the name Google, because only then the check could have been cashed. So that is how they started this Google company. And slowly it started growing. Initially, they had a few computers to form a small cluster which can crawl the web, which can get the data. And slowly it started growing. And now they boast of the largest Linux cluster in the world. So this is that success story, PageRank algorithm. So with this motivation, let me have a look at the PageRank algorithm. The idea is very similar to hubs and authorities, but there are subtle differences though. I'll outline them. The quality measure of a page is its in degree. That is the bottom line. So whenever we have got a page, how important is that depends on how many pages are pointing to it. So the quality measure of a page is its in degree. So this itself announces the importance of authorities over hubs. We'll discuss this point later, but as of now, let me begin by saying that the quality measure of a page is its in degree. Suppose there are 20 total pages on the web. We choose a parameter D. Everything has got its significance. I'll explain it. It's a beautiful, beautiful expression. We choose a parameter D such that D lies between 0 and 1. A typical value of D might lie in the range 0.1 to 0.15. So it is on the lower side. Keep that in mind. Let pages P1, P2, PM link to page PJ. Suppose this is page PJ and there are a total of M pages linking to it. P1 so on up till PM pages that link to page PJ. And let CPI be the number of links out of PI. So this page which is linking to it will also have the outgoing links, right? Many outgoing links. One of them may be linking to J. Likewise, P2 will also have outgoing links. Okay. One of them may be linking to J. So CP1 means the total number of outgoing links of page P1. CP2 means number of outgoing links of CP2, and so on. Right? Likewise for CPM, outgoing links for CPM. Right? So this is how we define the various parameters involved. Then the page rank RPJ of the page PJ. This is the page in question that I'm talking about. Then the page rank RPJ of the page PJ is defined to satisfy RPJ is equal to D by T. This T, which is between 0 and 1 theoretically, a parameter. T, total number of pages, plus 1 minus D, summation I is equal to 1 to M, if there are M pages that are linking to J, RPI, the page rank of page P1, the page rank of page RP2, that is RP2, divided by their respective outgoing links. I'll explain all this, I'll elaborate all this later. But as of now, this summation means the page rank value of page P1 divided by the total number of outgoing links. Page rank value of P2 divided by the total number of outgoing links of P2. Likewise, total number of the page rank value of PM divided by the total number of outgoing links. So what is happening is that this page is passing its authority to page J, and it is equally dividing between all the pages that it is pointing to, right? So this is this expression. When I work through this expression, things will become more clear a little later. But as of now, let us begin by saying that this is the page rank expression. The beautiful expression that I'm talking about, the backbone of Google search engine, about which Brin and Page were so excited, and they even convinced the industrialists to get $100,000 check. So this is that expression, RPJ. Note that PageRank forms a probability distribution over web pages so that the sum of all web pages PageRank will be 1. So let me quickly take you to the next slide and I'll come back to it. Let me see here. I'm taking a model diagram, you know, the model of the World Wide Web, wherein every node is having every page is a node, and all the hyperlinks are the directed. So first of all, let us see whether the summation of page rank values of all the web pages is 1 or not. And this will also give you an insight into how that page rank expression works, right? So what I've done is that I've copied that page rank expression over here also, so that you have the ready reference and you are able to see. Now see, what is RP1? According to this model diagram, what is RP1? So RP1 is D by 5, where D is a constant, by 5 because there are 5 pages on the model that we have chosen. T is equal to 5 plus 1 minus D, plus 1 minus D. Now I'm talking about RP1. So RP1 is getting 2 inlinks. So this will be RP3 divided by 2 because there are 2 outgoing links from RP3, right? So that will make the page rank expression more clear. So RP3 divided by 2. And what is the other incoming link to page 1? That is RP5, which again has 2 outgoing links. So RP5 by 2. Likewise, RP2, if I come to this, it is D by 5 again. D is a constant, 5 is the total number of pages on the web, 1 minus D. Now, incoming links, one is from RP1, and that is there are 2 outgoing links at RP1. This one and this one. So RP1 divided by 2 plus RP3 divided by 2 again, because there are 2 outgoing links from RP3, plus RP4, there are 3 outgoing links, right? So that will be RP4 by 3. So this covers all the incoming links to RP2. Now RP3 is again D by 5 plus 1 minus D. This part remains same. This part remains same for all of them. It is here that the variation is. Now it has an incoming link from RP4 and RP4 has two outgoing links. So RP4 divided, there are three outgoing links from RP4. So RP4 divided by 3 plus RP5 divided by 2 because there are two outgoing links from RP5. Now RP4 is again D by 5 plus 1 minus D, and RP4 is receiving just one incoming link from RP1, right? And RP1 has two outgoing links, so RP1 divided by 2. Now RP5 is having two incoming links. One is from RP2 and RP2 has just one outgoing link. So that is why RP2 divided by 1 plus RP4 divided by 3 because there are three outgoing links from RP4. So that pretty much covers the page rank values of all the 5 pages on the model on the example diagram that I have taken. Now let me sum them up and see whether this summation is coming out to be 1 or not. Only then it will form a valid probability distribution, right? There are two conditions for a valid probability distribution, that the summation over all the possible values should be 1 and individual values should be non-negative. They can be 0 but not negative. No probability can be negative. So one condition is that they have to have non-negative values. We don't say positive values because positive values may exclude 0. So we better say non-negative values. It may be 0 also. Now I is equal to 5 RPI. What I'm doing is I'm just summing them up. So when I sum it up, it will be D by 5 plus D by 5 times. So D by 5 into 5. So this will cancel out. Plus 1 minus D I take as common. And then the good part happens. So you see RP1 divided by 2 from here and RP1 divided by 2 from here. So RP1 by 2 into 2. This will cancel again. Come to RP2. RP2 is just at one place. So RP2 by 1. I'm cancelling them or I'm striking them off so that we get to know whether we have covered all the terms or not. Now RP3. So RP3 by 2 is here and RP3 by 2 is here at two places. So into 2. This will again cancel. Right? Now come to RP4. RP4 is over here, and over here. Three places. So RB4 by 3. This will cancel out again. Plus RP5 by 2. One here and one here. So RP5 by 2 into 2. Right? So you see we have covered all of them. This has been covered. All of them have been covered. So we have taken all of them and we have taken all of them once and we have taken, we have left none of them. So what is it inside? It is again on the next step I'll see, or I is equal to 1 to 5 R by RPI is equal to D. 5 got cancelled plus 1 minus D. This again is summation I is equal to 1 to 5 RPI because their coefficients have been cancelled. So it is RP1 plus RP2 plus RP3 plus RP4 plus RP5. So it is again this, right? Now you can see that this one will get cancelled with this, right? These two will get cancelled. And what do I get? I get, if I take this on this side, I'll get D RPI is equal to D. D summation RPI is equal to D, or summation RPI is equal to D by D, which is 1. So this proves that when we sum up the page rank values of all the pages in a diagram, it comes out to be 1. Regardless of the topology that we have and regardless of the size that we have, it will always come out to be 1. I have illustrated it using an example diagram. So that also proves that the page rank value forms a valid probability distribution. That is its strength number 1. It is mathematically sound. It is mathematically sound. This expression is mathematically sound because it forms a valid probability distribution. That is its strength number 1. So the page rank forms a probability distribution over web pages so that the sum of all web pages page rank will be 1. This we have established. Page rank can be calculated using a simple iterative algorithm and corresponds to the principal eigenvector of the normalized link matrix of the web. Just as we had illustrated in the case of hubs and authorities, this page rank will also give us an simple iterative algorithm. What we will do is we will initialize all the page rank values of the model diagraph in such a way that they are non-negative and their summation is 1. So easier part is to let them or let all of them have equal values. If there are 5 pages, let all of them have 1 by 5, 1 by 5. If there are 6 pages, let all of them have 1 by 5. So we have to start with an initial value. Now, using that initial value, I'll first update RP1. So RP1 will be D by T, whatever D I've chosen, divided by total number of pages plus 1 minus D. The current values of RPs and their number of outgoing links. I sum them up, I update RP1. Then I update RP2 with the initialized values of RP3, RP4, so on, RPN, or whatever, RPT, whatever be the total number of pages, but the updated value of RP1. Okay, I can have the updated value of RP1. So now, one thing we have to keep in mind, if I'm taking the updated value of RP1 to calculate RP2, the resulting values may not be normalized to 1. So I'll have to do the normalization. As I had done the normalization in the case of hubs and authorities, I'll have to do the normalization. If I don't want to do but this will give me a faster convergence, right? Because I'm taking updated values. If I don't want to do normalization, I am contented with a slow convergence, then what I'll do, I'll take the initialized values to update RP1, initialized values to update RP2, initialized value to update RP3, and so on. And in the second iteration, I take the first updated values. In the third iteration, I take the second updated values, all of them. Then automatically, this expression ensures that if the initial values or the previous values are such that they are normalized, the updated values will also remain normalized, except some truncation error may be here and there. That may be there. We'll have to make suitable adjustments for the truncation error. For example, if you take 1 by 6. So if you take 1 by 6, 1 by 6, 1 by 6, and you truncate, their summation may not be 1. So you will have to adjust one value in such a way that their values, suppose there are 3 pages. Suppose there are 3 pages and I initialize them as 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 1 by 3. So that will be 0.33, 0.33, 0.33. If you sum them up, it'll be 0.99. It is not 1. So what I'll do is I'll make 1.33, 0.33, and one of them will be 0.34. So as to make up for the truncation error, right? The idea remains the same, that we have to have this simple iterative algorithm, a mutually reinforcement algorithm. We had the mutually reinforcement algorithm in the case of hubs and authorities. We updated the values of hubs using values of authorities and authorities using hubs. But over here, we have a single value, no different values. Hubs and authorities are not separate anymore. It is just a single value. That is that you can take as second strength. That we are not taking 2 values to every page. We are just considering 1 value to every page, which is the page rank value. So page rank can be calculated using a simple iterative algorithm as the method that I have just now explained, and corresponds to the principal eigenvector of the normalized link matrix of the web. So ultimately it will converge, and it will converge to the principal eigenvector of the normalized link matrix of the web. Just as in the case of hubs and authorities, it was converging principal eigenvector 1880A, right? Over here, very important. And there are many pages that point to it, or alternatively, if there are some pages with high page ranks that point to it, right? As I had shown, this is the page, incoming links. So the number of incoming links is also important, but then the importance of these pages also is important. There may be few in links, but then the pages that are linking to it are very important. For example, this is a page on the topic computer. Now IBM is linking to it, Microsoft is linking to it, Dell is linking to it, this page. Obviously, this becomes very important because in themselves, they'll have high page rank value. So a page can have a high page rank. There are many pages that point to it, or alternatively, there are some pages with high page ranks that point to it. And if there are many pages with high page rank that point to it, it is even better, right? Now the question arises, why previously we had the concept of hubs and authorities separately, but now we have just a unified concept of page rank, and still it is succeeding. Why? On the concept of hubs and authorities, I told you on the previous turn that the search engine Clever came up from the IBM Almaden Research Center. But it didn't become a success story. There may be commercial reasons also, I don't deny them. But one of the reasons that I see is that when you calculate the hub weights, there is the possibility of spam coming in. Because hubs, if you remember, hub value is the sum of the authority values that it points to. So that means it is dependent on the link that I populate here. What I can do in order to put my hub value higher, I can link it to high authority pages because the contents of my page are in my control. So I can embed in invisible link, or even if visible link is there, I can embed high page rank values links in it. So the spam has set in. I am doing spam is illegitimate activity. Spam email is illegitimate email. So if there are illegitimate contents, may it be in the form of an illegitimate keyword in the case of content base, or illegitimate links in the case of the calculation of hubs. So you see that concept of spam links is now setting in because things are in my control. So what I can do, I can create two pages for myself. I can create two pages for myself. In content-based keyword, spamming would have been done using a single page, but now I'll create two pages for me. One of these pages, I'll put all the important links in it, in invisible link. And then I'll provide one link to my page. So I'll have a very high hub value. And this high hub value will pass on a high authority value to my page. You know, remember? If there are some pages with high page ranks that point to it. Likewise, if there are some pages with high hub value that point to it, right? So it may not have become a success story because people have bent around the corner and they could have brought in the hyperlink spamming. That is reason number one. So that way, page rank is just taking the backlinks, which authorities used to have, with a change expression, of course. So page rank has just the backlinks, whereas hubs and authorities have both the backlinks in the case of authorities and the forward links in the case of hubs. And forward links were creating trouble. So those forward links were done away in the case of page rank. In the case of page rank, we're just talking to the backlink to arm. Now, one of the persons who was a part of IBM Almaden research team for developing Clever search engine was Dr. Shaumin Chakrabarti, who is a faculty at IIT Bombay. He is a BTech from IIT Kharagpur and then Masters and PhD from University of California at Berkeley. So a very bright, researcher. Now he's a full professor at IIT Bombay. He's still there. So I was attending one tutorial given by him on the web searching and web mining topic. So I raised a question with him there. I said, why is it that PageRank has just taken up the concept of authorities and removed the concept of hubs, or left out the concept of hubs, but still PageRank is successful? So he gave a very appropriate answer. He said, what is a good hub will also become a good authority in due course of time. What does it mean? Suppose there is a good review paper. In due course of time, that review paper will also be referenced by many researchers. So that review paper will also become a good technical paper. Remember, I gave the analogy, review papers are good hubs and technical papers are good authorities. So from this, he said that a good review paper will also become a good reference paper in due course of time. So likewise, a good hub will also become a good authority in due course of time. So even if we leave out the concept of hubs and just live with the concept of authorities modified to PageRank, that will still work, and that may work in a better way because the spamming is completely done away with. Okay, so I hope the comparison between hubs and authorities approach that was there in the Clever search engine and what is there in PageRank is clear to you, right? There are more advantages that I'll take in the next slide. More advantages of PageRank that I'll take in the next slide. Okay. PageRank is a model of user behavior. I think this is the biggest strength. PageRank is a model of user behavior. We have already listed 3 strengths. What are they? Number 1, it forms a valid probability distribution, so mathematically strong. Okay. And it is corresponding to the principal eigenvector of the normalized link matrix of the web, again mathematical strength, right? And second strength is that it has done away with the possibility of link spamming by leaving out the forward links. It is just concentrating on the backlinks. Now comes the biggest strength. PageRank is a model of user behavior. How is that? We assume there is a random surfer who is given a web page at random and keeps clicking on links, never hitting back, but eventually gets bored and starts on another random page. Right? Try to absorb it. This is how we work. This is how we work. We start with some page. We start with some page, right? There may be some hyperlinks. I go through it and then I click one of those hyperlinks and I go to another page. There may be hyperlinks there too, right? While going through this, I decide to click one of those hyperlinks. I do that. I go to next page that it points to. There are hyperlinks in it. Okay. A point of time comes when I gets bored. The assumption is that I'm not hitting the back button. I'm just moving forward. At a point of time when I get bored, I may write a new URL in my browser and I start on a new page. This is what we do as a model surfer on the web, a random surfer on the web. Now, the probability that the random surfer visits a page is its PageRank RPJ. There are 4 links here. Clicking one of those links is equal, the probability of clicking one of those links is equal to the PageRank value of the page that this hyperlink points to. For example, this points to a PageRank, to a page whose PageRank value is 0.1. This points to a PageRank which is a value 0.2. This is pointing to a PageRank which has 0.4. And this is pointing to 0.1 again, right? Pointing to a page whose PageRank value is 0.1. So the probability of clicking one of those links is equal to the PageRank value of the page that this hyperlink points to. That is point number 1. Yes, so there is so much that can be said here. So much that can be said here. You might be wondering that if this 0.4 has got the highest value, why don't we click 0.4 only? Why did we click 0.2 that has a lower probability? If you are thinking so, that means you haven't understood probability concept well. And over here, I'll urge you to go through my zero lecture. Remember what was zero lecture? Tools for effective research. In that, I have explained the concept of probability. When I toss a coin, the probability of getting a head is 0.5 and the probability of getting a head is a tail is 0.5. Also, is it necessary that if I toss a coin twice, I'm going to get a head once and a tail once? No. Then what does probability mean? Okay, if I toss it 4 times, would I get head twice and tail twice? No, not necessarily. Then what does probability of getting head is 0.5 and probability of getting tail is 0.5? Understand this concept once and forever and very carefully. The probability value will only be the value when the number of trials tend to infinity. When the number of trials tend to infinity, which means if I toss a coin infinite times, then only 50 times it will be head for sure and 50 times it will be tail for sure. Anything that's less than infinite iterations may not give me exactly 50% head, exactly 50% tail. Let me narrate a joke here, a learning joke that will make you remember the concept of probability forever. There was this patient who went to a doctor. The doctor examined him and the doctor said that you have to be operated, but I have one good news for you and one bad news for you. He said, okay, give me the bad news first. He said, the chances of your survival from the operation is 1 in 100. Now I started crying. 1 in 100 is too low a probability. He said, wait. In your case, there is a good news left still. He said, what is the good news now? He said, good news is that in your case, it will be 100% success. He said, how can you be so sure when it is so less 1 in 100? He said, because the doctor said, because I have performed 99 operations before and all of them have died. 99 such operations before all of them have died. You are the 100th one, so you'll survive for sure. You may take it as a joke, but then there is so much learning in it. The doctor was abusing probability. 1 in 100. Did it mean that if 99 operations are failure, the 100th one is going to be a success? For sure. No, it means that if infinite doctors perform the same surgical operation across the world in different situations, then 99% will die and 1% will survive. If infinite doctors will do that. In fact, that doctor, if he had already killed 99 people in the operation, it is very likely that he'll kill the 100th one also, because he's a bad surgeon. Okay, so this is the concept of probability. Now, coming to this point, again, the probability 0.2 means if there are infinite visitors to this page, then 10% will, 20% of them will visit this page, 40% will visit this page, and 10% will visit the page that this hyperlink points to, right? So don't think that since this probability is 0.2, why was it visited and why not 0.4? Because he may be one of those 20% people. There may be many more 40% people who will click this link. So the idea is the probability that the random surfer visits a page is its page rank. The D factor is the probability at each page that the random surfer will get bored and request another page. The probability of getting bored and leaving this sequence of clicking, right? That is factor D, which has to be low, which has to be very low, right? Theoretically, it may be between 0 and 1, but practically it has to be low. Now, if I take you back to the page rank expression, then you will realize, let me just Yeah, over here now you see the page rank value of a page is D by T, right? Getting bored, which is D, and going to one of the total T pages on the web. This is this. 1 minus D means if he doesn't get bored, then the probability of clicking divided by the number of links. So this is a beautiful expression that catches the model web surfer on the web. Let me get back there. Yeah. This one, yes. Let me get back here. You started with a page. The probability of clicking a link is equal to the page rank value of this link point. Go on clicking, and a point of time comes when you get bored and you start an altogether a new page. That is D, which is usually low, right? So this is the biggest strength. So not only page rank expression is a valid probability distribution, not only it takes you to the principal eigenvector of the link matrix, not only it, what else it did? Yeah, not only it left out the forward links thing and the spamming, the link spamming, but also it captures the user behavior in a very, very appropriate way. Now I'll give you a challenging problem here, a research problem. See, research problems are of two kinds, open-ended and closed-ended. Closed-ended problems are such that you know that a solution exists and you have to find the solution. That is a closed-ended research problem, which you usually do in your BTech project. But an open-ended problem is the one in which you don't even know whether the solution exists or not. Okay? So that is an open-ended problem, which people usually take in PhD or to some extent in MTech masters. So I'll give you an open-ended problem, even though you are in BTech. This model or the PageRank expression leaves out never hitting back. If you can modify the PageRank value in such a way that and we do hit back button very often. So if you are able to incorporate this part of the user behavior also in the PageRank expression by modifying it, that will be a good research. Who knows, you will also get $100,000 check to open your company, and you may even be more successful than Google. You know, Google is one of the best employers right now. One of the best employers right now, Google. I remember there was a person who was their director of research. So he said that on his homepage, it was written, "Don't offer me a job. I've got the best job in the world." And also, by the way, when I was telling you the biography or Brin and Page, I missed telling you that when they opened a company and it started succeeding, a point of time came when they offered a job to their PhD supervisor at Stanford. And also another professor, Professor Monica Henzinger, who was not working at Stanford but working elsewhere. She was offered a job and she actually joined also Google, left her teaching job, even though she was a professor in one of the good universities somewhere in the Midwest, US. And she joined. So they are the best employer right now. And they have done some wonderful, technologies and some wonderful ideas. All the remaining companies in the US, they are 5 days a week. Now the trend is that they are going to 4.5 days a week. What does that mean? They say, I'm talking about before the lockdown. Not lockdown, everything is online. Most of the things are online. I'm talking before lockdown. 4.5 days. What does that mean? They'll tell you to come a week for 5 days and next week 4 days. 5 days, 4 days, 5 days, 4 days. So they were saving on fuel. They were saving on, pollution was being less and so forth. So 1 day of driving that they were cutting in 2 weeks, that was saving them fuel. They were saving them pollution also. Now Google went a step beyond. Obviously, whether you keep it 5 days a week or 4.5 days a week or 4 and 5 days alternately, the number of hours that remain constant, you have to distribute them in so many ways, in so many days, whatever you are coming. Okay, so Google went a step beyond. They said that we will make you 4 days a week. The 5th day in the week that you will come to us, you don't have to work for us. You work for yourself. Whatever idea you have, you develop it while you are on the Google campus. So the 5th day of the week, they kept all the employees free to work on their own ideas. Out of that 5th day research, many they kept a condition that whatever research will emerge on that 5th day, we will have a copyright on it because we are paying you for that 5th day. Made sense. People did wonderful research on that 5th day, and many useful products like Chromecast and all, they came out of that 5th day research. One of our alumnus, Ambrish Kinghe, he was a part of Google and he was instrumental in developing Chromecast. He's an alumnus from AMU. He was instrumental in developing Chromecast. Launch a search for Chromecast on the web and you will see. Later, he was offered a job at vice president of Myntra and he came to Bangalore to work here. Now he's probably has joined back Google again. So they are the best employers because they think out of the box. When you are on the campus, your food is free. Eat whatever you want, eat as much as you want. They provide you gym, etc., sports, everything free. So much so that they have the laundry free also for you. Whatever are your dirty clothes, you bring them in a bag, hand them over to the laundry of Google, and they will wash it, they will iron it for you to take it back in the evening. They have the car service also free for you. They have the babysitting for you free. See what they are doing. Actually, they are making all these things free so that you are free to work for them. The burden of washing clothes is taken off your mind, so you better concentrate on Google develop. You don't have to go for your car service, and whatever time you save, you give it to Google. You don't have to attend to your child. You don't have to be involved where my child is, what is he doing, which school is he going to, is the school off now, I have to pick up my child. All those tensions have taken off your mind and they have made you to work for Google. So they have the best employer in that sense. They are the best employer in that sense. So the story of their success is basically based on the fact that they have this beautiful PageRank expression, which is probabilistically sound, which is linear algebraic wise sound, which is doing away with the forward links, and which is also being a good model of user behavior, except this never hitting back. And if you do it, you may become a better employer than Google. Okay. This I've already explained that it is a valid probability distribution, right? So I'll stop here because I've taken a longer lecture today. So I'll stop here and I'll continue from here.